So, ladies and gentlemen, let's tackle mostly questions and answers. That is inquiries, concerns of majorly company policies, okay, the privacies, the conditions we have as this bank, okay. For us, we are easy associations and easy copyright users as these departments. We are using this as a copyright, the way we write the spellings, we did not miss anything, and then we included everything as they are written. From the initials, how the initial was grabbed from ZizitonFinanceBank, and then that is the utilizations of that particular initials, then which he associated the name as this for summaries, because writing too long is a headache for majorly for all the employees, all our associates, all our teams. We know that, ladies and gentlemen, and for which we scanned roughly 3 documents, and then we talk about very much the day before yesterday, with all those obstacles that come across, and then we try to nominate the obstacle, our opposers, the people who failed to follow these initials as from which has been grabbed from ZizitonFinanceBank, and the uses of that initials become very very idle there particularly, and then mostly there is no pay attention to be finished there to utilize that initials. So we have a lot of listed agents. Those are our agents, like their name their name is resembling us, but not really what is resembling, okay, irrelevant to what we are doing. And we started with a website called CAVD Bank. We show you the evidence of CAVD Bank, how it is started. It started in 2010, and then slowly it upgraded 2011 with these Sudan divisions of the SPLS grabbing the Sudan. And then that's how our CAVD Bank was grabbed also away by these kind of companies. And then those companies, we have them here. We're gonna be looking at them later. Here we listed them down here on the chat boards, and then we're gonna be chatting a lot here with them. And then the grabbing of Sudan was like this. This was the guy here. Which grab actually Sudan. You know, Sudan is like this. This is the Sudan map. Okay, the Sudan. This is, let's say, this is Kenya. This is Ethiopia. This is Kenya. This is Uganda. This is DRC here, and then Central somewhere here. And then Chad is here. Eritrea is somewhere here. We have Oman. We have Saudi Arabia. We have Egypt. We have Libya. We have Chad here, and then Nigeria somewhere here, and if you know, Central Africa. So that is vis-a-vis is how it looks. But if it was grabbed like that, it was 2010. That is how our CAVD Bank was grabbed by those obstacles, because those guys, they use our website because we build it. For us, everything we are trying, our system is providing us, they are giving us 14 days free trials, for which in these 14 days, they offer us elapsed. Once they elapse, they will tell us, your payroll administrations should pay us the money per month. And then by doing that, we have to pay them back the money. And then at the end, we fail to pay for CAVD Bank, you know. So that's when these people, which we listed down here on the chart, people like we have here Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank, we show you on the criteria. They are located in Nigeria. They hold roughly 16.1 billion total revenues, asset in 2019. And then in May 1990, that's when the guy said they established this thing in Nigeria. And then Nigeria and London, they've been working here in Canada. That's what they were saying. They have all the equities, which is 854 million roughly Wikipedias. Their Wikipedias is saying and grabbing, bragging there. So if you look, this is the owner, their Ghana CEO, CEO of the Ghana. They have their number there. And then roughly this much here, and then that is briefly about the Zenith, as we saw you from that scan. I cannot go very much to illustrate very much. And then we have Aziz. Aziz is irrelevant to us, but our difference there is the alphabet A that stands for that Aziz. I just change the ideas. Don't do not feel like working for this. So you know, as been this, those are our graphic up there on the wall. You are seeing there. That is our graphic. So the Aziz was owning with us 100 ATMs, and then across Afghanistan region of the Kabul city in Afghanistan. So let's say that is their Wikipedia is saying, and then that's at the end he claimed this is an Islamic bank of Afghanistan, and then with roughly 101,850 employees there. Okay, and then of which we have during the construction of our website as CVD Bank, which is the Ziz website, and then we have Tingarin Bank in London. Came back in London. They were in USA. Their address was showing us they were located USA when the grappling between ours with these companies was occurring. So the issues affected me and affected them, and then the grabbing was taking place, and then they have their telephone number which they show us, but it's all nothing to do with it because their name is T, and then T is very far from us, the ZIS team. So we ignore it, and then they become in London, they do their job there, we don't care. And then with their logo is like this, something like this, goes like that, like an arrowhead. So that is all they were having there. The end they developed, that is when they were moving to London. That's the logos they developed there. I guess that's it. Catch we were dealing with the CVD Bank, the black one, the black cycles there you are seeing roughly. That's when they were here in London. If you see on their parent, their parents, the parent of the Tagrant is called Scotia Bank. That is ING Bank and Scotia Bank. And I hope this Tangarent, that is because they took my website, and then the guy was the one holding my investments. Okay. They hold which kind of investment I have there with the Scotia Bank in 2004 and 2005. That is the Scotia Bank card, the red card of the Scotia Bank. I have a MasterCard there. I have Scotia Bank debit cards, and then I was authorized by those tellers to put the card back to them, not to use the card because they don't want. If I keep doing banking with them, they're gonna become hijacking even more of my dollars. And then I look, because I'm working full times, and then my dollar is getting hijacked because I asked them what is not happening. And then we have little bit argument there. That's when I went to work, and then I come early, and then in the morning I use the ATMs, and then those dealers they see, and then I ask them, and then we have another argument. So that's why I decided to go to TD and then open my account with the TD. I moved my account from Scotia Bank to TD after 1 year, okay, and then that is it become TD debit card, and then it become TD Visa. Okay, in around that year. So that's when this Tangarint, they name themselves now. They are the bosses of myself, and then they become the INGs, and then the ING is my advertisements company. They were advertising when we were watching a TV. They are my advertisers. We know them very much. They don't deal with any branch around here anywhere. They don't deal with any branch. Okay, but if you go to Calgary, sometimes you will see they have stores there in Calgary. So that is overview to do with the Tangerines. So we have what they call Zion Bank. We show you there. Also, is the founder is they have a founder there, and then they said they have roughly 1,873 kind of employees, or the formations of the years, or I don't know. Is very many years. Is a lady. The other one was a lady, Zanap, and then there's Zanap, and then they're all Zion from Zion station. So bank, and then we said if they will do a copyright with us, that is the situation. So with the ZULO, and then ZULO and ZILO, that is like, let's say this is my radio wave. I'm saying Zulu, India, Zulu, okay? Zulu, India, Zulu, as this, okay? We mean this, Zulu, India, Zulu, okay? That is this. Simply to write this in my radio so that people understand that the spelling of this is Zulu, India, Zulu, and then from there, this nonsense of the real estate of the Zulu, and then the ZOLO, become around between us around the radio's years. The radio years is roughly 2014 or 2013 earlier, then 2014. That is my radio years here to begin my radio broadcasting for this particular company, CVD Bank, and then this particular companies Aziz. That is the year I started the radios, and then that is when this kind of confusion come, because I was saying, yeah, this is ZizitonFinanceBank, and like that. So the guy was bothering me and following me, and the way he's following he or she doesn't really know, because it's not really good, because I go and do my jobs, and then from there I got terminated by this same guy, this real estate guy from one of the printing company, and then they hijack my printing for those kind of signage, and then they said they cannot do it. I show you guys here, and we have face-to-face conversations about that, the illustrations and explanations there. So that was occurring for them. They said they found it 2006, and then the radio information here, my radio information for that is 2006. I was doing what they called mobile phone and telecommunications, because that is my study years, and then I was in the school 4 times that year, and then they're doing my advanced levels or upper levels for universities or anything like that. And then if you look there, this is the real estate mortgages, and then they said they are former Microsoft executive founder, and then the Wikipedia's kind of relationship there. Of course, I really don't know, and I really don't know the individuals. So we ask if they will do the copyright for this with this, so that they use our logo, which is this logos, and then other than going straight beyond our control. So it's really not safe. And if we happen to go with our design for 60 years, this guy here, we are seeing we're gonna find the guy very offensive with our shift, because we're gonna be having more shift, because the name did not comply. This is this guy here. We found it in London, and then we found the Zenith is also from now Ghana. They got banned down and then moved right to London. Right himself is opening some branches yesterday, I see on the map. Okay, and God going crazy, did not know that I'm here the one using that logo, and then they don't know, okay, because they don't have the research there, ladies and gentlemen. So you remind that, and then be aware of that. Their revenue for this real estate, which is the ZOLO, is roughly 8.1 billion, they say US, and then that was 2021. And then the CEO is there, Rich Baton, or which one, I don't know. They said the Rich Baton was started in 2004, founded in 2021, with employees actually 8,005. And then Roy Frink, and you name it, and you name it. They also own what they call 416 numbers there for Toronto GTA's real estates. So with the estates, and this as this, we have the estates, and we are following those estate sales. We have a summaries of those estates, which these names we read here, they are sending. We have the record also. We are taking the record where we are seeing, the mortgages is sold roughly 1,700,000. Okay, 1,700,000, 1,600,000, 1,300,000. Okay, 600,000, 200,000, the mortgages. So sold by these particular companies and other companies, and then of which they are not really on it really much. But what is our use here for the Canadians? What are we doing with the mortgages? Statements and establishments. We are doing is, if it will become a additional mandate for us in the future to lay out back the mortgage to the people, because the mortgages are all, we are seeing they're all sold very expensive. Okay, very expensive, and then we will look at it in the higher glance in the future if we will give it back to the people. Okay, we return it back because it's useless. They oversold it. It's too much money. Has been as is. And my career, I have my career, which is payroll. I do payrolls. If I do payrolls, and then why? Those homes, they sold it. I write the norms address. If I write them, this is simple, like paying the money, the payroll, running a payroll to such a particular homes. Once they sold the homes, once we write to Markham, we run to Brampton, we run to Toronto, we run to Hamilton, we run to Stone Creek, we run to St. Catharines, we run to London, we run to which one, we drive there and then checking. Whatever Berry, whatever wherever, whatever USA, whatever in BC, whatever wherever we do, we do go, and then we will track the information, and then we will check. That's why we are tracking down. We know how much money they sold the home. If it's 2 million, fine, and then in long durations, our work is to compensate back or give the home as heritage to whoever gonna be. Because it is going to become stagnant in the future, because some people, they are buying the mortgages without knowing what investment am I supposed to do in a rough year like this of a high market rates. You cannot buy nothing. So if you look on the Prime Minister's statement, also they banned down this one, immigrant to buy homes in Howley for a duration of times. And then why shall you keep buying homes when the price are this much? You should wait and then till they get things settled, because we have a lot of no names. Okay, there are no names, but people are very rich. Like this, they're saying they have money there. And then what they do is they have money, and then they will just wait if your decision will turn and they become them. How possible? This is all investment from one individual to another individual. So ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. Vis-a-vis, if you look, this is Uber. And then we're going to leave that one. We're going to talk about very much about Uber Eats. Uber Eats revenue in 2014 was 8.3 billion US dollars. That is 2014. The founder, they said, is Garrett or Gary Kem, or private, whoever you name it, Wikipedia says. And then they owned like roughly 6,000 locations. and then roughly 45 in USA branches. So, and if you look, and then another one we have Zendesk. Zendesk is 2007 Wikipedia's formation for founders, and there Alexander's and the many others. There are roughly three of them in Denmark 2022, and then roughly 5,860 employees with 2 billions. That is 1.34 billion US. That's what they were saying. That's Zendesk. And then if you look on the areas of Zizi, that's Zizi is us. Zizi is us. And then the Zizi is us. That is Zizi. As Zizi is us. Zizi.ca. And then that is 905 is Misaga. So on overview is food for this. This is food for this, and is a restaurant or this news. We have this bank, and then this news, and then this foods, which is Zizi food, because we have what they call Zizi teams. Zizi teams and the families own Zizi foods. These are the Zizi teams and the Zizi families owned this food. Okay, they owned these food restaurants in Toronto or Misagas or wherever you name it. But the other one here, the Zizi, and then the Ziz News, and then the ZizBanks, that is us. Okay, but we have a long problems here. Zendesk, and then the Ubers is not us. Uber is not us, okay? Uber is not us. Uber is independent. We know Uber is a separate and independent. We're gonna be talking very much about Uber today, but that is here we have the long agendas between the Ubers and us. We're gonna be talking about that very much, and then we have what they call ZULU. That is not independent. Is a fake and is a scam. ZULU here is a scam. And then we have Zion is scammed, but we are not 100%. We don't go to Israel. That's why we cannot determine from Israel. And then we know Tangarend, we forget about it. And then we know Aziz, maybe is fake, maybe scam. We are not 100% sure, because Aziz work normal with this. They are inside this news, and then they are inside this, I guess. So Aziz work there in this, and then we have Zenith. Zenith is I don't know. The guy is doing what I don't know, like pull away the map of Sudan. Like the guy who pull away the map of Sudan here, and then the down guy here, which pull away the map of Sudan, and then I don't want us to talk about, like that guy there. And then he's the one which is troubled very much there. So let's face here the issue here. You know, this is 100%. Let's say it's the mortgages. Okay, if it's their mortgages, their mortgage listings. So it can tell you is. So if you look on the systems, Uber is more different, separate from us. Uber is different, and then we are ZizitonFinanceBank as ZizBank, and then Uber is a different. Okay, so myself, I was doing studies in Uganda. Okay, my studies. I did my primary schools. I told you guys several times, and then I did my secondary. I told you guys several times from Uganda, and then after I finished, I decided to go to Kenya. Okay. Around 2001 or 2002, that's 2002, I guess. So I went to Kenya, and then I was there in Kenya, and then I began enrolling to schools, and then I found Uber is in Kenya. Okay, this guy Uber is in Kenya, in one of the refugees camp. Okay. Then we registered, then we started staying in the same communities, and then we're speaking the same language, and then we come from the same communities, okay, the same tribes. But we stay there for a duration of 2 years. I stay there. for duration of 2 years or 1 years and six months or 1 years, 8 months, I don't know. And then from there, I succeeded to Canada because I left the information to him. I say if he is going to someone who is among our communities, anyone who is willing to take my name to this kind of UN office, then leave it for me there at the gate, because I will be leaving here to do my voluntary works at the schools, and then after I finish and then I come home, I will be able to check it back with the guy. And then all the guys says, all of them there today, they are not doing any UN search. And then the only guy doing UN search is Uber. Okay, this Uber is happen to help me and then do the UN search for me. And then did the UN search like this. I give my mother first name and then last name, and then my father's first name and last name to him, and then my name to him. I write it down, all down, and then I give to him, and then he took it to UN office. Okay, when they reach there to UN office, and then they begin to a lot of information. I guess paperwork filing and like that. They filed my name and then decided to change all my mother's first name and last name, and then my father's first name and last name. The whole thing was altered there, by him. By those people, he said those people in the UN office altered that information. So at the end, when he get home, I found all things was altered. I say, how do that happen? And then he decided to put me alongside his file. So I said, now how can I do? And then I decided. And then they said, if I go anyhowly, I may get even fired, from there. And then those guys, they started telling me, let me just relax, let this guy now do that job, and then let me continue doing my work there. And then the guy was the one filing now the Canada process. He filed that process, this visa process. He filed, and then he worked there. We got terminated by USA because the guy concentration was found guilty. They're very offensive, I guess. Then the rejection information indicated that there is a backlogs informations, and then they cannot hire any backlog in USA. That's what USA appealed to me. And then I said, fine, if they cannot do that, and then I'm not going to the USA. I decided not to go to USA for that particular visa. And then from there, we get appealed by Canadian that we can come to Canada. And then the same information was attached, but my name, I filled my name. Now I push my name very far from the file, I know. Because I go very much, I pulled my name very far from his list, and then his name pushed himself very far away from the list as well, because the community also knows, and myself, I know, I have my witness, my prep, the communities in that particular camp will come from. So from there, this is how the information was. And then we went, and then that's when we get here in 2004, early January, and then that is when the whole process was beginning. By him was 6 children, and the 5 children. No, how possible 5 children? 4 children, and then that's the wife and himself. There are 6 of them, and then myself there. We are 7 in the real list there. The list can indicate and tell you we are 7th there. And then when we get here, we started at the $3 a day. And then $3 a day, that is how we're coming here. We started like that. That's the money we are earning. We earned a week, and then a week, then not a week, and then we move. We get the homes, and then I got my homes next to their doors, and then their home at this end, and then we started living together there. But the other end, the same apartments, like this kind of apartment. This is the unit, my unit, and then the unit that end there, across the hallways. So we are different there. We started living, and then we live for a duration of 1 year. We move to another we happened to get a house which they call subsidized government housing. So we got it, and then this is a unit, one unit which is 5 bedrooms, and then with a large basements, and then of course we were able to stay there for a duration of 2 years. I'm doing my studies with these families, but the thing did not work well. Okay, I decided to move myself alone, and then the families scattered. All of us, we scattered in the families. He's doing his business, I was doing my business. You know, my trip can tell you I was all along London and areas, Windsor's here, and then London to Calgary, and then Backford here, and then I was working, you know, in the earlier 2004. And then earlier 2000, you name it, 6, 7, and then 8. That's when I was back to London here. Then I resumed my homelessness there. The whole story goes like that. That's how my car dealers collapsed there. And then how I begin another homelessness. And then that's when I come back here and then begin my life now. Almost how many years? 13 years on the road with my new life. 13 years on the road. Plus being safe in Canada. That is it. That is 13 years plus being safe. That is another 5 years in Canada. Okay, safe in Canada 5 years as a traveler, and then I make it 18 years in Canada now. If you look in this year, I make it 18 years in Canada. So this is overview between myself navigations of these issues which we are seeing here. So Oba is Lagu Angel Jones, and then they have the families, as I saw you people several times. This is a black person from my community. I know we live in the same city here, and then we come from the same trip and the same communities here. They are in the refugees camp. So, but if is the whole thing we are telling, you are not saying this is not true, and then who will come and tell you? They cannot tell you because if you want BBC, put them on BBC. Let Oba explain himself. They cannot explain. The wife can fail to do so on the behalf of these Oba companies. That is myself. I explain here at least a case related. You can understand between how is this company established and how does this company really works. So we on the belly we have the copyright policies here. This is a copyright policies. With the copyright, we said let the copyright be very confidential and then be privacies of this company called Ziz, and then that's why we are posting as Ziz and this one news and ZizBank. Okay, so if we become banks and then we don't want anyhowly grabbing, you grab which may collapse, and then you will not be safe because another guy is saying they can't even defeat myself. How will you defeat myself? You cannot defeat myself because in 60 years I'm saying the future of this could be more relevant to us. And if you look at myself, my name WAINE HASSAN as ZiziTON, I'm WAINE HASSAN as ZiziTON as a Madi person. Okay, as Wane James.